Welcome to my kitchen. This afternoon, I'll be spending a few hours doing what I do every single day, preparing nourishing homemade food for my family of six. I like to cook as much as I can from scratch, and I like to use simple ingredients to create meals that are both comforting and nutritious. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and join me for a cozy afternoon in the kitchen. Today is a little busier than usual because we're planning to head out after dinner so the kids can play some tennis. That means dinner is happening much earlier than normal, and I need to have everything ready on the table by 5 o'clock today. There's quite a bit to get done this afternoon, so I'm starting with the chicken. We're having chicken wings for dinner, and I'll be baking them in the oven. Since they need some time to cook, I want to get them seasoned and into the oven first so everything else can come together on time. First, I'm prepping the chicken wings. I like to go through each wing individually, trimming off any excess skin or the extra feathers or anything that does not look quite right. Once they are cleaned up, I pat them dry with paper towels. Getting them as dry as possible helps them cook up nice and crispy in the oven, so I take my time and do this with every single wing. Like I mentioned earlier, today is going to be a bit of a race against time. I am baking chicken wings and I'm also trying to put together a full meal. I'm planning to make cornbread, coleslaw, and a simple caprese salad because I have all the ingredients. I'm also hoping to whip up some homemade ranch dressing. Even as I say it loud, I know probably I won't get to everything. Between cooking and filming, it's just too much for one stretch in the kitchen. So I'm just going to focus on what I can realistically get done and be okay with whatever ends up on the table today. Before these chicken wings go into the oven, I'm adding a little baking powder. This is the key step that helps them turn out extra crispy. Then I'm seasoning them with paprika and salt for flavor. I'm also adding a bit of oil and giving everything a really good mix so the seasoning coats each wing evenly. That way, every piece is well seasoned and ready for the oven. Next, I'm going to arrange the wings on a rack before they go into the oven. I'm preheating the oven to 425 degrees. They'll bake for about 50 minutes and I'll make sure to flip them halfway through so they cook evenly and get nice and crispy on all sides. Once the wings are done and come out of the oven, I'm going to finish them with Parmesan cheese and garlic. So I'm now getting those ready. I have this block of Parmesan and I really love using this one because it has that rich, authentic flavor. I am going to finely shred it. I only need about a cup for this recipe, but I'll go ahead and grate the whole block so I can store the extra in the fridge for later use. Now that that's done, I'm taking a short break from it and starting on the cornbread. I'm gathering all the ingredients and getting everything ready to mix. I'm taking another quick break to get everything into the oven now that it's fully preheated. I'm placing the wings in first, and at the same time, I'm also putting my cast iron skillet in the oven so it can preheat for the cornbread. I used to make this recipe all the time, but it's been a long time since I last made it, and my kids were actually asking for it recently, and that's what made me think, why not just make it today? I also need some melted butter for this recipe, so I'm getting that going now. I'm also keeping about a tablespoon on the side because I'll need it to coat the cast iron skillet before I pour in the batter. This is a very simple recipe, but I did make a small mistake. I used the organic masa flour instead of the regular masa flour. It's a non GMO heirloom version, and I usually try to use higher quality ingredients like this, but in this case, it just made the cornbread a bit too dense. My kids were really looking forward to it, and they still ate it, but it just wasn't the texture they were expecting. I'll definitely try this again with regular flour next time so they get that classic cornbread they were hoping for. I've mixed together all the dry ingredients: the flour, the masa flour, baking powder, sugar, and salt. In another bowl, I'm adding all the wet ingredients. I have the melted butter, the milk, and eggs. Once everything is combined, I'll pour the wet mixture into the dry ingredients and give everything a good mix. Right at this point, I could already tell the texture was not quite right. It just wasn't coming together the way I expected, and I had to keep adding more milk to loosen it up, which is not good. But I didn't really have another option, so I just kept going with it. At that point, it is what it is. I'll finish it and see how it turns out. If it doesn't come out perfect, we'll figure it out from there. I had started cleaning up the kitchen, but then I suddenly remembered that I still need some of these ingredients for the coleslaw. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started next. I need buttermilk for this recipe, but I don't have any on hand, so I'm making a quick substitute. I'm combining milk and vinegar and letting it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes until it thickens slightly and takes on that buttermilk texture. While that's roasting, I'll take the vegetables out of the fridge. I'm using carrots and cabbage, which is like the classic coleslaw. Once the buttermilk is ready, I'll make the dressing by mixing it with mayo, a little extra vinegar, milk, sugar, and then salt. Now I don't need any of these ingredients, so I'm going to go ahead and put them away. Before I start shredding the vegetables, I need to check the oven. The chicken wings have been cooking for a while, so I'm taking them out to flip them over and make sure both sides brown evenly. I also have my cast iron skillet preheating for the cornbread. It's been in the oven for about 25 minutes, so I'm taking it out, coating it with the butter, and then pouring in the batter. At this point, the batter actually looks pretty good, but I still had a feeling something was a little off. I was hoping that even if the texture wasn't perfect, the cornbread would at least turn edible. The cornbread is going back into the oven alongside the chicken wings, and hopefully they'll both be ready around the same time. The wings still need one more step once they come out. I'll be toasting them with the garlic and parmesan mixture for extra flavor. While I'm finishing the wings, the cornbread will have a chance to cool slightly. If everything goes according to plan, it should all come together right on time. And just like that, coleslaw is done. This will go in the fridge until dinner time. While I wait for the wings to finish, I'm getting the garlic and parmesan mixture ready. I'm chopping up two whole bulbs of garlic. I really love the flavor of fresh garlic, so I prefer peeling and chopping it myself instead of using the pre chopped version from the store. It takes a bit more time, but I feel like it's worth it for the flavor. So I'll get that done now. The cornbread passed the fork test, so it's ready, and the chicken wings are also done at the same time. The chicken wings are looking really good, but I want to take them to the next level with our final layer of flavor. I'm going to cook the chopped garlic in butter until it turns golden brown. Be careful not to burn it. Once the garlic is ready, I'll turn off the heat so it doesn't overcook and then add in the grated Parmesan cheese. I don't want the cheese to melt completely, just soften and coat everything. I'll give a quick mix, then toast the hot chicken wings right into that garlic parmesan butter and mix it all together so every piece is fully coated and packed with flavor. It looked like I wasn't going to be able to finish everything I had planned, but I still wanted to have something light on the side, so I quickly put together my comfort salad. It's just a mix of spring greens and arugula, topped with feta cheese and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. I tossed everything together in just a couple of minutes and it came together really fast.